April 8, 2009. The Maersk Alabama, a 500-foot American-flagged container ship. 20 crew. Carrying 17,000 tons of food aid, bound for Mombasa, Kenya, on behalf of the World Food Program. The ship was traveling at 15 knots, 240 nautical miles southeast of Isle, Somalia. The maritime industry advisory was clear. Stay 600 miles off the Somali coast. The Alabama was at 250.
At 7 a.m. local time, 4 armed men in a small skiff approached at high speed from the southwest. They had AK-47 rifles and a single ladder. The chief engineer hit the security alarm. The crew followed protocol.
The Alabama's 20 crew locked themselves in the engine room and the secure muster point. Captain Richard Phillips stayed on the bridge with his second officer. The pirates climbed the ladder. They reached the deck. Within minutes, they were inside the wheelhouse.
What happened over the next 12 hours is disputed. Phillips's account in his book, A Captain's Duty, says he tried to negotiate. The crew's account in their later lawsuit says Phillips negotiated himself onto the bridge to prevent the pirates from finding the engineer locked below.
Either way, by sundown, the chief engineer Mike Perry had captured the lead pirate, Abduwali Moose, by jumping out of hiding and stabbing him in the hand with a screwdriver. Perry held Moose hostage in the engine room while the other 3 pirates panicked on deck.
The crew offered a trade. They would release Moose if the pirates released Phillips and got off the ship. The pirates agreed. Then they took Phillips with them into the orange-enclosed lifeboat hanging from the Alabama's port side. They took $30,000 in cash from the safe, and they took off. For the next 4 days, Phillips was held inside that 28-foot lifeboat with 3 armed pirates. The boat baked in the equatorial sun. Temperatures inside reached 140 degrees Fahrenheit. There was no toilet. The pirates beat him intermittently. The USS Bainbridge, a destroyer, arrived on April 9th. Then the USS Halliburton. Then the amphibious assault ship USS Boxer. By April 11th, 3 Navy SEAL Team 6 snipers from Red Squadron parachuted into the Indian Ocean and were picked up by the Bainbridge. On April 12th, Easter Sunday, at 7:19 p.m., the 3 SEAL snipers fired simultaneously from the fantail of the Bainbridge. 3 headshots, 3 pirates dead. Phillips was unhurt. Abduwali Moose, the captured leader, was already on the Bainbridge negotiating. He was the only pirate to survive. Moose was flown to New York. He was tried as an adult despite claims he was a minor. He pleaded guilty to hijacking, kidnapping, and hostage-taking. He was sentenced to 33 years in federal prison. He is incarcerated at the United States Penitentiary in Terre Haute, Indiana. He will be released in 2038. Phillips returned to the United States as a national hero. He testified before Congress. He wrote his book. Tom Hanks played him in the 2013 film Captain Phillips. The movie grossed $220 million worldwide. Phillips received approximately 5%. But here's the part the movie did not show. In 2009, 11 members of the Maersk Alabama crew filed a lawsuit against the Maersk Shipping Company. They alleged that Captain Phillips, against multiple emails from the Maritime Liaison Office warning him to stay 600 miles offshore, had set a course that put them all in danger. The lawsuit alleged that Phillips had received 7 advisories from Marlowe and Maersk Corporate, all warning him to stay further offshore. Phillips had moved the Alabama within the high-risk zone. The crew said they had begged him to alter course. He refused.
Maersk settled the lawsuit out of court. The amount was confidential. The crew were paid. None of them ever sailed under Captain Phillips again. None were credited as advisors on the film. Their account of the hijacking has never been published as a single book.
6 months after the rescue, the Maersk Alabama was attacked by Somali pirates again, November 18, 2009. This time the ship had hired armed private security. The pirates were repelled in 3 minutes by gunfire from the security team. No one was injured. The Alabama was attacked 4 more times by pirates over the next 4 years. Each time, armed security on board prevented boarding. The Alabama was scrapped in 2015. She had become the most attacked ship in modern American merchant marine history. The hijacking changed maritime law forever.
Within 18 months of the rescue, the International Maritime Organization approved armed private security on commercial vessels. Within 5 years, 90% of ships transiting the Gulf of Aden carried armed guards. Pirate attacks on the route dropped 98%.
But pirate attacks have not stopped. They moved. The Gulf of Guinea, off Nigeria, is now the most pirate-prone water in the world. 240 kidnappings in 2020 alone. Most of the victims are still being held. And the Strait of Singapore, the Malacca Strait, the Indonesian archipelago. Modern piracy is industrial. It is funded by criminal syndicates. It uses GPS, encrypted radio, and satellite imagery to track ships. The pirates of 2026 are nothing like the pirates of 2009.
Captain Richard Phillips retired from Maersk in 2015. He still gives paid speaking engagements. He has never publicly acknowledged the lawsuit. The 11 crew members who sued him have all retired. They will never speak about him on the record. The Maersk Alabama lifeboat is on display at the National Navy UDT SEAL Museum in Florida. The bullet holes from the rescue have been preserved. Visitors can climb inside. Most of them stay only a few seconds. The space is small. The walls are stained.
And every commercial ship transiting the Gulf of Aden tonight has a posted lookout, an armed security team, and a course that stays at least 600 miles off the Somali coast. The lesson cost 5 lives, 3 pirates, 2 American security team members in later attacks, and it cost the Alabama 11 careers worth of trust. Subscribe to SALT Files.